I'm so glad you're home again.
Hey, you're choking me.
Oh, am I?
Well, what have you been doing with yourself?
Oh, darling, I've been thinking. Could we have a costume ball, just as you used to?
Now, what put that idea into your mind?
Nothing. I just feel that we ought to do something to make people feel that Mandalay is the same as it always was. Oh, please, darling, could we?
All right, if you think you'd enjoy it. You'd better get Mrs. Danvers to help you, hadn't you?
No. I don't need Mrs. Danvers to help me. I can do it by myself, Maxim.
All right, my sweet. I'm sure you can.
But Mrs. Danvers did help me. It was she who suggested that I design my costume after one of the family portraits in the gallery. A lovely young woman in a white dress with great puffed sleeves and a hat with gay ribbon. When the night of the party arrived, I could hardly contain myself for excitement, for I'd kept the costume as a surprise for Maxim. I ran quickly down the stairs, and then I waited for the clapping and the laughter that would greet me. Suddenly, they were all quiet. Nobody clapped. Nobody moved. And then Maxim was coming towards me, his face white, his eyes blazing.
What the devil do you think you're doing?
Maxim, the picture. The one in the gallery. What
Go and take it off. Go and take it off. Doesn't matter what you put on. Anything will do. What are you standing there for? Didn't you hear what I said? Go upstairs and take it off.
May I help you with another gown, madam?
No. No, thank you, Mrs. Danvers.
Mr. DeWitt was upset. I watched you just now, madam. I watched you go down the stairs just as I watched her a year ago. Even in the same dress, you couldn't compare with her.
The same dress? You knew it. You knew that she wore it, and yet you deliberately suggested I wear it. Why do you hate me? What have I done to you that you should hate me so?
You tried to take her place. You let him marry you. I've seen his face, his eyes. They're the same as those first weeks after she died. I used to listen to him walking up and down, all night long, night after night, thinking of her, suffering torture because he'd lost her.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
You thought you could be Mrs. De Winter, live in her house, walk in her steps, take the things that were hers. But she's too strong for you. You can't fight her. No one ever got the better of her. Never, never. She was beaten in the end, but it wasn't a man. It wasn't a woman. It was the sea.
Oh, stop it. Stop it.
You're overwrought, madam. I'll open the window for you. A little air will do you good. Come and stand here, madam. Don't be afraid. Now look down there. Isn't the sea lovely? Why don't you go? Why don't you leave Mandalay? He doesn't need you. He's got his memories. You've nothing to stay for. You've nothing to live for, really, have you? Look down there. It's easy, isn't it? Why don't you? Why don't you? Go on. Don't be afraid. Why don't you jump?
What's that noise? Maxim! 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 Where are you? Maxim! What's happened?
Shipwreck. There's a ship aground sending up rockets. Robert, notify the Coast Guard. Shipwreck.
Frank, have you seen Maxim on the beach?
Not since half an hour ago.
He hasn't been in the house all night. I'm afraid something might have happened to him. Frank, what's the matter? You look terribly worried.
Well, the diver who went down to inspect the bottom of the ship came across the hull of another boat. A little sailboat.
Frank, is it...
Yes, it's Rebecca's boat.
Rebecca? Oh, why did they have to find it? Why couldn't they have left it there in peace at the bottom of the sea? Poor Maxim. It will be so hard on him.
Yes, it's going to bring it all back again. And worse than before.
I searched the beach frantically for Maxim, but there was no sign of him. And suddenly I came upon the boathouse, Rebecca's cottage. There was a light burning dimly in the window. I pushed open the door, and there, in the glow of the dying fire, I saw the tortured face of Maxim.
Hello. Come in.
Max, you haven't had any sleep. Have you forgiven me?
Forgiven you?
For last night, for my stupidity about the costume.
Oh, that. I'd forgotten.
Oh, Maxim, can't we start all over again? I don't ask that you should love me. I won't ask impossible things. But I'll be your friend and companion. I'll be happy with that.
You love me very much, don't you? But it's too late, my darling. We've lost our little chance of happiness.
No, Maxim.
Yes.
No.
It's all over now. Rebecca has won. Her shadow has been between us all the time, keeping us from one another. She knew this would happen.
What are you saying?
They sent a diver down. He found another boat.
I know. Rebecca's boat.
Yes. The diver made another discovery. He broke one of the ports and looked into the cabin. There was a body in there. The woman that is now buried in the family crypt. That was not Rebecca. That was the body of some unknown woman, unclaimed, belonging nowhere. I identified it, but I knew it wasn't Rebecca. I knew where Rebecca's body was. Lying on that cabin floor on the bottom of the sea.
Maxim, how did you know?
Because I put it there.